There's a new powerhouse in the boardroom, and it's not a person. It's generative AI. Today, we're going to dive into how this technology is fundamentally changing the toughest part of leadership, making that right strategic call when the stakes have never been higher. I mean, it's the ultimate leadership question, right? You're practically drowning in data. The market is shifting under your feet every single day, and every decision feels monumental. So, in the middle of all that noise, how do you find the signal that actually points you towards success? For decades, this has been the name of the game. Success in business was all about how leaders could navigate this exact kind of complexity. You've got technology, innovation, market shifts. They're all moving targets. And in that kind of environment, a single decision can be the engine that launches a company forward or the one that sends it completely off course.
Historically, leaders have always relied on a blend of logic and, good old-fashioned intuition. They use their years of experience to cut through the noise. But in today's world, with its relentless pace and just overwhelming amount of data, that traditional playbook is really starting to show its limits. And this is where everything changes. Enter generative AI. Now, don't think of it as some kind of replacement for human leadership. Think of it more like a revolutionary new co-pilot designed to help you navigate the storm. So what makes it so different? Well, while older AI was great at analyzing data that already existed, generative AI creates something brand new. It learns from these vast data sets to generate new text, to simulate future market scenarios, or even to draft innovative business strategies pretty much from scratch. It's way less of a calculator and a whole lot more of a creative partner.
And this technology didn't just appear overnight. The concept actually dates all the way back to the 1950s. Then, the data explosion of the 2000s came along and basically provided the fuel for the fire. And all of that brings us right here to today's generative leap. A massive shift from simply analyzing the world to actively helping us build its future. Okay, so that's the theory. How does this actually translate to the real world? Well, GAI is already turning those mountains of data into a real, measurable competitive edge for businesses. And the evidence is pretty compelling. A recent analysis of a whole bunch of business studies revealed a really striking pattern. Get this. In 27 out of 30 cases, integrating generative AI led to tangible, real-world operational improvements.
So let's break that down a bit. Improved operating efficiency? Yeah, that leads the pack, which you'd kind of expect. But look closely at the other major impacts. Greater accuracy in decision-making, significant cost reduction, and a real boost in innovation. So you see, this isn't just about speed. It's about making smarter, more cost-effective, and way more creative decisions. But of course, implementing this kind of power, it isn't without its own set of challenges.
Because for all its power, GAI isn't some magic wand you can just wave. It's a tool. And like any advanced tool, it comes with risks and complexities that require really careful management. And this highlights a huge central paradox. The promise of AI is pure data-driven objectivity, completely free from human bias. But the reality? GAI learns from data created by us humans. And if that data contains our hidden biases, and it almost always does, the AI can learn and even amplify them. And that can lead to some seriously flawed or unfair results. And the hurdles? Well, they go way beyond just data. First off, the quality of your data is everything, which means you need a robust and often expensive infrastructure. Then there's the challenge of plugging this new tech into your old, creaky systems. But maybe the biggest obstacle of all is the human one. You have to build trust, upskill your teams, and create a culture that embraces this change instead of fearing it.
So if GAI isn't a perfect, standalone decision maker, and we humans obviously have our own limitations, what's the solution? Well, the future isn't about choosing one over the other. It's about building the ultimate winning team.
The real magic happens when you find that perfect balance. It's all about combining GAI's incredible power to process data and spot patterns with the irreplaceable value of human judgment, experience, and intuition, especially when the path forward is anything but certain. Getting this partnership right is a really deliberate process. It starts with investing in the right infrastructure. Then, it's all about training and upskilling your people. You have to empower a culture of curiosity and experimentation. And finally, it all comes down to collaboration, using AI to augment human judgment, never to replace it.
This really is the new reality of strategic leadership. As AI becomes more and more integrated into business, the key question is no longer human or machine. It's how do we best bring them together? And the answer, almost always, is going to be both.